Greetings out there in two lands from the planet Earth. Had an awesome day. A new person came by. So that's pretty cool. He brought some food over because I feed people when they come here, right? So he gave me some extra food. Right? That's really cool, right? Well, home ministry might not be for everyone, but I sit back and we eat after, and we can kill the different movies. Depending on, I ask that person what they're in the mood for. Sometimes we watched Passion of the Christ and other movies some people want to watch, right? And I was watching Vikings earlier, a little bit of Vikings. It was an interesting thing because I cannot speak on the veracity of what they're saying here on some aspects of it, because I know it's mishmash made to be a television show, but when they portray the three Christian kings that they come across who all break their word, right? I mean, I wasn't there. I never asked Jesus, so the veracity of that statement I cannot guarantee to you. But I like the overall series in a sense because of I like the period piece and that's myself. The clothing and all that fascinates me because I'm looking ahead at the things to come when many aren't. They do some weaving in there, cloth weaving, because I heard that now when I went in there to look, and they do some cloth weaving. It's fascinating. I have a lady that's singing a song in my some beautiful songs. She's weaving a dress, and it's just, what are people going to do when the electricity isn't working anymore? You can't go to the store to buy new clothes and all that. You have to make do with what you got and either repair it or make new to replace it. Excuse me. Because when you look at the things to come, and there's a lot of hardship coming that people don't even know about, but the Bible speaks that it's written there. There come a time when you can't buy or sell. Yeah, there's other hard times coming. There's some major stuff happening. People will have to endure through it, and getting things might not be that easy. Some of these things didn't take us feel very long to do, and the basic principles can be seen by just watching somebody use it once, right? It's pretty interesting. And then all it is then after it's time doing so. Many are familiar with bushcraft to some level or degree, while others aren't. A lot of city folks have no idea what to do. But we got to face facts. These mega cities and places like that, they're death traps, right? They are. If the power ever cut out, say, a CME, none of that, it doesn't really matter, right? The CME of 1859, for months, we're talking months, all over the planet, people are going outside at nighttime to read the newspaper by the light of it. It was that bright. Now, it sent energy down the telegraph line, so any telegraph station that had a battery in it exploded and caught on fire, right? Now you think on that, in the technology that we live in, the technology world, smartphones, everybody's texting, everybody's this and that, you name it, right? Facebook is all gone. It'll be all fried. Now, even if you had spares that were unused at the time and not damaged, right? I mean, the infrastructure alone, it crippled us some. What some people would say, bring us back to the prehistoric age in their view. But then they're forgetting the pioneers crossed America without all that stuff, right? People in a lot of in Africa and all that live without a lot of stuff. There's problems going on. You still have people living in villages and in rural, in the middle of nowhere, in the jungles of the Amazon and that, and they seem to be doing very fine without the luxuries that we take for granted every day. Right now, countless people are going through suffering right now, all over the planet, all manner of disaster. The cyclone that just went through many nations in Africa has left countless dead, wounded, and missing still, with crops lost. The Bible speaks of these days, 2 measures of wheat for a penny, 2 measures of barley. Food crops are getting wiped out all over the planet. All manner of things are going on that they're usually not letting the people know, right? And the rise of evil is on the increase in many areas because in Africa alone, thousands of churches have closed. In Europe as well, thousands of churches have closed. This series is not for many, right? But I find the clothing, the method of transportation, the boats, for me, that is desirable. They built the boats out of wood. They took this, I believe they went to about 30 yards, if I'm correct, on the average boats. They had some smaller, some the average was about 30 yards. They crossed the oceans once they found out how to navigate with a simple process, and they found Viking ships in the Great Lakes and even in the Gulf of Mexico. Martha's Vineyard, well, that vineyard, that Vineland to them, right? They went all up and down the coast. They have settlements that were on the eastern coast of Canada, where they show this nut that grows from the southern states, right? The nuts and the seeds and that from the southern states. These guys traveled. Now try to imagine there was travel between England and France and other areas, and they didn't even know how to go west, and all of a sudden, boom, they're west, and they kept on going. The courage, especially since most of them couldn't swim, to go across oceans to nowhere. Now that I admire, but the clothing, the way they had to do things. Because what will you do when nothing works? There are people out there doing blacksmithing. Those are skills and desirable skills. Bushcraft skills are very desirable. False flags are coming in the States. They want to get people into the FEMA camps. God has been giving people visions about that, and there are ladies out there right now, and others ministering about it, trying to warn you about the things that God warned them is coming. Barbed wire, the razor wire, every kind of doodad you're going to think of, security, the guys in the towers, machine guns, guard dogs, the whole 9 yards. We're here to help you. My ass, right? But still, the foolish will rush to the aid vehicles if they'll mark them as alive, and they'll figure everybody else is dead, and that gives them time to get away. That's some of them. That's what they're supposed to do. God's giving people visions, and I'm not going to argue with what He's saying, right? He told me bits and pieces of my future. He's telling people bits and pieces of theirs, right? Right. All I know is I'm going to be here and do what He wants me to do, and no matter what, I'm going to do it. And we all have a destinies, as we can call it, with some choices to make. Some people will be caught up in Revelation 6 verses 9 to 11. They'll have to deal with that. Stand tall for Jesus or get on your knees for Satan and take the mark, right? For some, that'll be a tough choice, sadly. And for me, it'd be an easy one, right? Many of you, it'll be an easy choice, right? But some will struggle with that fear to save their lives. For God has given the people visions of some fighting each other to the death just to stay alive. That's not what a true believer in Jesus does. Hard times are coming. And understanding how some people lived when they didn't have the luxuries we have today. And seeing, oh yeah, it's possible, otherwise we wouldn't have gotten to the time period we're in now. That they couldn't have endured those things. I asked Jesus a few things about some of these time periods. And He told me the children of the 15 and 1600s were stronger than the strong men today. But that was because of the clean air, clean water, and clean food. There was none of this GMO and all the other garbage, pollution and air pollution and everything to weaken the body. And like it says, when the woman is older and gives birth, the child is weaker, as it discusses in the Bible. And I understood what He meant there by that the future generations would be weaker, and here we are, the weak generation, when they were so strong back then. A child, a young man, would be able to pick a heavy-set man, up over his head like he's nothing, because they worked hard in those days. Okay? You even look at Sergeant York, 1941. It's a true story on how God changed a man in 18 months, and from a drunk to a Congressional Medal of Honor winner. Okay, but in that movie, you see that man working hard for pennies, splitting rails, moving rocks, working all day, from the sun up to sundown, and then working at night, just to make a few lousy pennies. But so many of us have it so good, living in the lap of luxury and know it not. Many throw away food, sadly. So much food they throw away, while others are starving. Some of them go to churches and wave Bibles, and they know not what they do. Right? They're bickering, backstabbing, so much things going on. God asks us to love one another as we love ourselves, to pray for our brothers and sisters in need. Right? And so many are gossiping and pointing fingers at each other, tearing each other down, while the enemy gathers and gains strength. Much is coming, brothers and sisters. Some of the homesteaders are wise getting out of the cities, because it doesn't take that many people to control a city. The wilderness is another story. And in every state, they've got those roadblock checkpoints. The arm goes up the whole 9 yards there. So if you got your chip, you can kind of whiz on through, The biometric scanning is becoming the law of the land. in October 2020, and mandatory chipping takes effect. Yeah, eye scans and all that, and permission to leave the states. So if you want to go to Hawaii, you're basically leaving the continental. You need permission to go. And I always wondered what's going to happen when somebody's standing there and they decide to say no. Because the walls work both ways, but the writing's on the wall. When they got him in every state, and the internet was given, the U.S. internet was given to the UN, who just gave BO a seat in it, and BO's going to be running it soon. I mean, just the writing's all over the wall, brothers and sisters. Many of us have fates and destinies already chosen by God. Not all will perish. And that's still a few things that are still a little bit away, not too far, but a little bit away. The writing's already on the wall there. Right? Just be prepared and ask God what to do. Pray on it. For He has different places He wants them to be. You got people moving around right now to other locations where they're needed more by Him. God has so much work that needs to be done, but few are asking Him, what do you need done? Is there anything I can help you with today? Because there could be something in your area that needs help so bad that He has no one there willing to do the job. Because everybody's deciding for themselves what they want to do for Jesus and God, and not asking, what is it that you need done that I may help you with today, or how may it be of service to you today? Pray on that and see what Jesus tells you. You might have to ask a few times, but if you keep at it and you're sincere and standing tall, He'll tell you what He wants to do, because right now He's given many dreams and visions. And those asking Him this very same thing I just told you are getting replies, and He's showing them all kinds of things. Because this is that late in the game. The third temple's about to go up, and He's going to claim to be God soon. So this is no time for being lukewarm or lack of effort or tepid or one of the countless other definitions of it. It's time for it to be serious and grow up. Put away the childish things. We're supposed to be here for God's pleasure, not our own, as written. But most forget that. Many are going to be living through some hard times. And even after, during the millennial reign, will not be easy for many. Yes, some will be in the spiritual body, but others, I don't think they will be. Because of Zechariah 14, I didn't ask Jesus. But earlier it says, men will seek death, but it shall not find it. So God decides who dies, lives or dies, and when. Period. No matter what they do. That's why some get visions of them looking like zombies. Right? They try to off themselves to cheat God. Ain't gonna happen. But after, you look at Zechariah 14, verse 16 down. For the nations that went against Jerusalem, right, that He let live, and He's gonna let a bunch live, will have to go to the Feast of Tabernacles, God, the most holy feast of all. Right? For first year no rain, second year He puts a plague on them and they die. Okay. Now the rain being important to them, clearly, because they're in the physical body for the crops and the animals and such. No rain, you got a bit of an issue. Right? And God will allow them to live, but suffering great thirst. I don't think you want to go there. So it's like you're spitting in God's face, because everybody knows He's the Lord, every knee did bend. But whether they go or not is still up to them. He gives them that choice, but He gives them a warning of what's going to happen. Okay? God is all about mercy, love, and compassion. He showed mercy to the nations, that many of the nations that are sending troops to go against Him. That's love, mercy, and compassion. He said, those out there that show no mercy and compassion will get none from Him. Right? Make sure you're not one of those people causing or hanging on to hatred. Right? Don't propagate it. You have a choice to speak life or death. Speaking life, God loves. Speaking death, He does not like, and it comes with a bill. Remember that. Take time out for the Lord, and He'll take time out for you. Many just go through the motions, and they don't really have the faith and the passion in the heart. But without the heart and faith, you have nothing. Think about it and crack open your Bible today and actually read for yourself instead of some hireling telling you what they think is in it. And have a chat with Jesus. Bye-bye.